Hello, everyone. Welcome back to DFKM, this season of Friends with Dice. We are back on episode 2 with our good folk. We're going to go right back to it with the culmination of the fight between Aiden and Troy over some interactions with Queen Bee Lilith. Before that, I just want to give again another reminder, which I will probably be doing every episode, of remember to take care of yourself. This Monsterhearts is heavy content, and make sure that you are taking care of yourself, and if anything is triggering or upsetting, flee! But come back. And with that, we will continue with a rowdy classroom scene, everything kicked up, everything kind of separated and destroyed. We were left with the PA system coming on as Mr. Singh was about to take Troy to the principal's office with a woman coming over the PA system telling Aiden to report to the principal's office because the sheriff's department would like to speak to him. A very inappropriate thing to announce over a PA system. And with that, Mr. Singh is holding Troy, just trying to get him to calm down while being like, I'm not going to send you to the office together. With that, CJ and Graham, where were kind of your positions as like this chaos unfolded and you were just trying to figure out what was going on?
CJ wanted to fight. The second it looked like conflict was about to happen, I think CJ was like out of her chair, ready to like get involved. Mainly also because she doesn't really like Troy, not for any personal reason, but just because he's Lilith's annoying ex-boyfriend. But Mr. Singh kind of shut that down before stuff really popped off. So now she's kind of like hyper with like no outlet, which is a bad thing for her specifically to be in. So I think that like she'll probably be like, I can take Aiden to the office if you want.
I think Mr. Singh, as he's holding Troy, he's like, yeah,
She's
okay.
Like standing.
Yeah. CJ, I think that's a great idea. You take your friend to the office and see how that's about. River, and he points over to River, which is this person with like they have like this buttoned up with like little cactuses all over it, and like these shorts, and they're rocking it with like a tight low cut hair, and they're like, yeah, sure, yeah, Mr. Singh, I can take Troy. And he's like, can you take him just to the guidance office and talk to them at the guidance office, and then they can deal with that, and just make sure Aiden is allowed to go to the principal's office unencumbered, please. That would be great. CJ, you seem fired up. Why don't you take Aiden now and give a 10 count, River, before you take Troy, okay?
I think Graham probably also, like, a beat behind everything else, like froze for a second, and then jumped up, almost like mimicking CJ. Then, as Mr. Singh Bouncer kind of catches himself, takes a step back, and I wonder, like, kind of subtly, but also just, like, steps slightly, like, through his chair. And then catches himself and sits down. It's like,
I love that.
Shit.
I love that. So you do that. You kind of catch yourself and you immediately like look around, but everybody is very focused on the scuffle and everything's happened. And CJ is just kind of talking to Mr. Singh as that's kind of going down.
I think I'll wait a beat as well until they've both left, and then I might ask if I can get a hall pass and try and go spy.
Cool. I love that. We'll do that in a second.
Get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, CJ and Aiden, you take off.
Yeah, CJ will start going down the hall. Move is like twitching. She's like picking at her she's like picking at the skin of her cuticle. She's like biting her thumb. She's like really hyper and like stuck, and she can't do anything about it. So she's like talking really fast at Aiden too. She's like, "That was crazy. What did you do? Like, come on. Also, I have something for you. Hold on." She like turns around, like taps her pockets. They're like, in the hall, but like it's the middle of class, so like no one's around. So she
on their way to talk to the sheriff.
on the way to talk to the sheriff. Yeah, she's too stupid to like know that would be a bad thing. She's gonna go to hand him like a bunch of weed. Be like, "My brother wants to give this to you. You owe me money now instead of him. You can just Venmo it to me. We have each other's numbers."
I have cash if you want.
That's so much better for me, actually.
How much was it?
Yeah. And like, I'm gonna think about whatever. I think we'll say that like Asher probably said like what, like $20 or something.
$20 sounds right.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, yeah, like $30.
He texted me the amount that it
Yeah?
is earlier, right?
Yep.
He did. He fully
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Are you fucking with me?
I want you to know that the Aiden before all of this shit kicked off this summer would have fallen for that, and I would have been $10 richer. So
Aiden
I don't know.
last year would not have been buying drugs off you or talking to you.
Fine, I guess. What's the deal with this new girl? She's hot, right?
Yeah, I guess. I've never seen her
Nice.
before.
High five. Tries to like high five you.
It's like probably the arm that got like fucked up just now.
Yeah.
So, oh.
Sorry. Fuck. Sorry.
What a one-track mind.
Yeah. Drugs,
Hey, you were just
women.
called in. You were just called into the principal's office. Hey, what about this new girl, man? Like,
Yeah. Also, it's crazy that they said that you're going to that the sheriff's office is here to talk to you. That's
Maybe you should give this to me later, and I hand back the.
Oh, yeah, totally. Put that back in my pocket. Right. That I thought everything was done. I thought that they'd like wrapped. Like, it's been weeks. What else? They
I
already
don't know.
talked to you, right?
I don't know what. Unless they found something, but why would they call me out of class?
Yeah, and also, yeah, I don't. Have you found out anything else? Do you know?
No.
Okay, shit, man. I also don't think that you did it. Okay, come on, I'm on your side.
If they found a body or something, like they would have. I mean, they would have told the family first. They wouldn't. They totally think I did it.
But you didn't. Fuck. I mean, you could just not go to the. I mean,
That looks bad, right? I can't do that. I can't just.
If you never stop moving in the opposite direction, then they'll never catch you.
So like I leave the town. I never come back. Change my name. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know that this sounds crazy, but like I think it's like an option that I think we shouldn't not put on the table.
Okay. I can move to like Venezuela or something.
Yeah. I think they have nice weather there. I failed geography last year. I'm going to be fully honest. I think Lexi really pulled me through in the end, but
At least you didn't say geometry just now.
small victories, huh?
I think at this point, Graham, you're probably asking for the hall pass, and with your track record and everything, I don't think Mr. Singh hesitates, and he's like, "Yeah, sure, take your time, Graham. Yeah, absolutely." Sorry, continue.
Do you have like an Advil or something?
I personally don't find myself needing Advil on a regular basis. I do have other drugs that could replicate that effect.
Okay. Is that how you like, heal quickly?
I just have a really thick skull. That was just like, that looked a lot. Head wounds bleed a
bad.
lot. Yeah. Head wounds bleed a lot. I just have like, I don't know, like it looked way worse than it was.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. See, because I got up after, right? I'm here, breathing. I'm real. It's fine.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about the other drugs now, but like...
Everyone's in class. No one's paying attention. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's just that I'm on the way to talk to the sheriff.
Yeah, other acetaminophen is also a drug. Okay, Asher's
Oh,
that stuff,
yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah.
not like drug. I wouldn't sell drugs on school property. He's gonna go to hand him like a bunch of weed. Be like, my brother wants to give this to you. You owe me money now instead of him.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Sold drugs on school property.
I would
legal.
never do something like that.
Like 20 seconds.
Never ever. I would never.
Graham, depending, where's your objective? Is it just following them?
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping. I want to try and get also to the principal's office and try and like park up somewhere and basically try and hear what's happening inside the principal's office.
Okay, so you're using a move.
I'm just trying to figure out, because I can go through walls and stuff, but I'm not invisible in any way, so I'll just have to like, I wonder if the principal's office has like a private washroom or something where I can like walk in through the back.
I don't. Well, it is Hallows High. Yes, it has a private.
Even just like a private area.
I was trying to think if there'd be like a private like like closet for like documents and stuff like that.
Yeah. Fancy principal coats.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like an adjacent room, and honestly, I like the bathroom idea because that fits this overly funded school by the mining company.
Either that, or I can try and sort of come
not overly funded. Sorry, schools should have funding, but the funding goes to the inappropriate places due to corruption.
My only other idea was like getting into the like principal's kind of waiting room and using maybe a gaze into the abyss to try and like hear through the wall, basically.
Yeah. Which do you think fits better?
I think Graham is terrified of having to lie to someone, so would probably just try and sneak around the back. But if that's not possible,
All right, yeah, no, it's perfectly plausible. Especially you can walk through walls, so you can definitely get a grasp and go do that. Are there any moves kind of attached to your going through walls, or is it just something you do?
No, it's just it's the limitless move, so it just says you can walk through walls and fly. But I suspect if there's any risk involved whatsoever, Graham's going to be having to make a keep your cool move pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Okay, cool. So you want to like get up ahead of them to try to get to the office before they do?
Yeah, I mean, I might not catch them, but at least get in there to try and hear what's happening.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you get, like, well, I think you probably pass them at around the time that they're talking about, like, just very audibly in the middle of the hallway, about to get to the principal's office, talking about drugs.
Yeah, just trying not
So, CJ and Aiden, you do see Graham. I think, like, Graham, what are you kind of doing as far as, like, trying to... Do you not want to be seen by CJ and Aiden? Because you're going to the same place. They're going the most direct route. You'd be going the most direct route.
Because I've been, like, watching Aiden as sort of one of my previous connections. So I think I would still try and, like, keep a distance. I'm not, not...
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to say you're essentially missing the first part of the conversation, and then you're going to come in after. So you're just kind of like a step touch behind.
Perfect.
Cool. So you come in behind the administration's desk at reception. There is Miss Galloway. And she's like, "Oh, Aiden, CJ, hello? Did you
Yeah.
I'm the escort.
Oh, I see.
I probably got like a bloody nose and stuff as well from what just happened.
Beat the shit too. It looks so good on you. Well, if you sit, the principal and the principal and the sheriff will be with you momentarily.
Do you know what's going on?
I'm sorry, Mr. Coleman. I am not aware. I was told to just call for you.
Okay.
His name's Aiden.
Sit down.
Me? I'm
Yes.
going back to class.
Oh, right. Yes, that does make more sense. Get out.
Mrs. Galloway.
Aiden, yes, if you could please sit down and wait for them to call you in.
Can I get a tissue?
Oh, yes, of course. And she just hands you a box. She's not even particularly like curious as your state or anything. Miss Galloway has seen plenty of things, and she has like that air of really not caring anymore. Just like, I was told to call you, I called you, and that's probably also why it was very abrupt. She was like, the sheriff told me to call you. I'm going to tell you that the sheriff told me to call you. Not great at her job, Mrs. Galloway, but so you get a few minutes go by. You're sitting kind of like in this, like Galloway just immediately goes back to her work. You can see the windows of the principal's office open, and you can see the sheriff talking to the principal. The principal is sitting behind her desk, just kind of like, yes, nodding, okay, I understand. And then they make she kind of stands up, sees you, and then just kind of like directs you in. Before we do that, Graham, do you just kind of duck into a hall as CJ starts coming back towards?
I think CJ, I will like make eye contact with. And
Like,
what's going
Graham?
on?
I don't know. They called him into the office. Well, they called him into the office for something, and like Mrs. Galloway called him Mr. Coleman, like he was an adult or something. So I kind of think that like, so Aiden thinks that they're here to get him because like they haven't found anything about Kira, which is fucked up because he didn't do it. Obviously,
Yeah. He's in trouble?
I think so. That's kind of what we both think. I mean, you don't get sent or called to the principal's office for like a good thing in the middle of class, you know? Maybe you don't know, but I know that that's not usually like a good conversation.
Doesn't normally have good vibes,
Yeah.
even
Are
from my seat. I'm gonna try listen.
Nice. Hey, if Mr. Singh asks where I went, can you just tell him that I went to the washroom?
Sure.
Thanks.
That's where. Wait, where are you going?
Not back to class.
Okay.
Have
Okay.
fun.
Thanks.
Good luck spying. Use your like, you know,
My spidey senses.
the shit we were doing all summer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm gonna just. Yeah.
Nice. She like taps him on the shoulder. Good job.
Way to go, champ.
Thanks.
Okay, and Aiden, you're directed into the office. Mr. Coleman, will you have a seat, please? And you see the actual sheriff, not the deputy, but like Sheriff Ballsax standing there, very like 5 o'clock shadow at 9 a.m. kind of a thing. Rough, like hair just kind of half combed back, like he just combs it in one specific way that he has done for the past 20 years. And he's wearing like his sheriff's attire and everything like that. He's like, Mr. Coleman, can you sit, please?
I take a seat. Did you find Kira?
No, we have been unable to find Kira yet. I do have some follow-up questions for you, though. As you can see, the principal is here as a person to watch as you are a minor. But yes, I do have some follow-up questions. How often do you feel you've frequented this particular area?
Like,
Where your friend disappeared?
I don't know. We'd go up there every now and then. More often during the summer.
So it was frequent. This was a consistent thing for you.
Yeah, sure.
Ever see any other people up there? Happen upon anybody?
Yeah, I mean, like it's not people go up there all the time. I don't know. You run into someone in the woods sometimes.
Yeah. Anything more specific? Any hikers that you ran afoul or anything like that?
No, I mean, yeah, you see hikers, but like nothing bad ever happened.
So you did. You've witnessed hikers up there while you were up there. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
nobody I know to, like nothing weird happened.
Nothing weird? No. Well, what I guess what's your version of weird then? I suppose you did go up there with somebody that you claimed to have a relationship with, and something happened to them. And what's your view of weird, sir?
I meant with the hikers. Okay, I'm not talking about Kira right now. I'm saying if I see a hiker in the woods, I might wave at each other and pass by. That's it. There's no interaction beyond that.
So you don't claim to have any kind of interactions, misgivings, conflicts
No
with
conflicts.
anybody up there?
He says, like, wiping blood off of his upper lip.
Exactly, yeah. You are aware there was a report at the mansion of... what's Andrea's family name? CJ?
Yeah, CJ.
Okay, we don't know.
You mean my married name eventually?
Let's say Conway? Andrea Conway? There was reports of an altercation between you and a respectable member of the community at the Conway estate just the other day. Is this history of violence a common thing for you, Mr. Coleman?
That respected member of the community, or whatever you just said, just jumped me in the middle of class again.
Completely unprovoked, I assume, Mr. Coleman.
I was just sitting there listening to Mr. Singh read 1984 to us.
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll see about that. But I think your violence streak is certainly becoming a whole. Do you commonly come into issues with controlling your anger?
No.
I'm sorry. Did you just interrupt me? Thank you. So you're suggesting that you don't have issues with your anger? Yet there are already multiple occasions where you have incurred physical altercation with people, resulting in injury?
Are you asking me a direct question?
Yes, I am asking you a direct question.
No.
Interesting. So if I said...
Is there a point to this, or...
Your anger is showing, Mr. Coleman.
New? Yeah, I'm angry because you're trying
to... Yeah, exactly. You're struggling controlling your anger. It's a hard thing, isn't it? What do you do when you get angry? Do you have any feelings, Mr. Coleman? Do you have any desires?
What? I listen to music.
So if I told you we found a body not too far from where your friend supposedly went missing and or disappeared, you wouldn't know anything about that.
A body that... It's not Kira.
No, it is a male body. Not a hiker that you happened by, waved, said hello, said something wrong?
No. Is it someone we know? Like someone from the town?
I think it's at this point, Graham, that you'll start hearing the like very aggressive tones. I believe I'm asking the questions here, Mr. Coleman. You've already admitted to having problems with your anger and controlling it. You've admitted to seeing hikers not too far from where this body was found. You are a known violent person. What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't know. Anything I say, you're gonna fucking twist.
Well, doesn't take much to twist in your direction, does it, Mr. Coleman? I'll be speaking with your family later today. And be aware you're on watch, Mr. Coleman. You're free to go.
Look at the principal. Are they just, like, silently watching without any
She is silently watching, taking it in. She's listening. At no point did you ever assume that the principal was going to advocate for you in any point.
All right. I stand up, take some mental effort to, like, ungrip the armrest.
Roll a keep your cool for me.
Okay. What is that? Four.
So
Getting
as
tons
you
of experience, though.
That's good.
I just
so
leveled
as
up.
awesome. So as you're sitting there and you stand up, your hand, you're like the tips of your fingers are actually bleeding from how much you've been gripping the chair, and you actually like rip off with like almost preternatural strength part of the armrest as you're like standing up. And now there's like this gash from where you like tore the armrest, and it's like this bloody gash from where your hands were bleeding from the pressure, and you just ripping through the armrest as you stand up.
Sorry about your chair. And walk out.
I think as you walk out, the principal kind of like widens their eyes slightly, and you go, and then as the door closes, Graham, you overhear the sheriff speak to the principal, and they're like, what do you think? And the principal is like, I don't see Mr. Aiden, at least the old Mr. Aiden, acting in such a fashion. But I believe he has been exhibiting changes that our friends might be interested in. And then the sheriff is like, I'll be sure to talk to his parents. And then the principal is like, yes, I think they'll be quite concerned. Quite concerned indeed. And then the sheriff leaves. CJ,
I have
what are
a
you
question.
doing? Okay,
Yeah. I've got a question. It does involve not like a retcon necessarily, but we ate breakfast at a cafe this morning, right?
Yes, you did.
I did. Yes. Can CJ have stolen some sugar packets
Yes.
from the thing? Great.
Absolutely.
Is the sheriff's car parked in front of the school?
It is.
It is. She's gonna look at it and be like, "Fucking Sheriff Ballsax, goddamn!" And she's gonna pull the sugar packets out, and she's gonna open his fuel tank. She's gonna start feeding the sugar into his fuel tank, and just close it up, and then just goes about her day.
Roll a shut someone down, please.
Sweet. An 11.
Nice.
These dice rule.
So you, yeah. So let's read this out. On a 10, you choose one from below.
Mm.
They lose a string on you. If they have no strings on you, you gain one of them. Yep.
Can I have a string on Sheriff?
You can have a string
Ballsax?
on Sheriff. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
What was Sheriff Ballsax's real name?
Sheriff Sax.
Sax.
Sheriff
Okay.
Sax.
I just think that they've probably run into each other before, and they probably don't get along.
And let's face it, a bunch of teens. The sheriff is named
Yeah.
Sax. He's getting ball sacks.
100%. That's been happening for his entire life.
And immediately, anytime somebody calls him, he flashes back to middle school.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's what she's gonna do. And then I think probably just like go hang out on the field under the bleachers or something. She doesn't really want to go back to class. She's bored.
Okay. All right, you do that. Graham, do you extricate your... Or actually, Graham, do a keep your cool for when you're overhearing the conversation with...
Yeah. So yeah, I am afraid of getting caught, but I rolled a 4.
Okay, so as that kind of happens, you hear a chair move and footsteps getting louder as if going towards you. What do you do as they open the door? And let me read the keep your cool for a second, because I think it's just to me to decide what happens. I think. Right?
Yeah, I think
Gims
it's
will tell
an
you
interesting
actually.
move.
But I want to know like your impulse when you hear.
Can I pitch, like, Graham's just freaks out and runs. Can I pitch that, because his big old headphones are always around his neck, that he just, like, runs through the back of the closet or this bathroom, whatever it is, but the headphones hit the wall, still solid, fly off his neck, and, like, rattle to the ground.
I love that.
So there is distinctive evidence that he was in his closet now.
Yeah.
There.
How do you feel about them coming off, but the cord still half through the wall?
Oh, so I'm like on the other side.
So you're like on the other side, it pulls off, so there's like a cord like half through the wall, and the headphones are like dangling down.
Sure, yeah.
As they're like half through the wall. So yeah, you leave, your headphones are on, you can see your aux cable just sticking out of the wall.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly, and you can hear all of a sudden fast footsteps
Yeah.
coming from the room, coming like around to try to see the other side of the wall. Can you give me a runaway?
Yeah, I can.
And I'm going to give you a -1 forward on this.
Okay, cool. An extra -1 on this roll. So that'll be a 5 total.
Cool. So you immediately go to run away. You just pick a direction close to the class, and you're just in full sprint, and you hear the principal like calling after you. It's like, "Hey!" Behind you, and you can ignore it and run, but she has like a good view of you.
I'm gonna shit. I'll stop and turn around. That's the principal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, her name is
Her name is Gallagher.
Gallagher and Galloway. That,
Yeah.
I'm sure never gets confusing.
The Gals.
The gals.
The gal pals. Ms. Mrs.
Miss.
Miss Gallagher. Hi. Hi. Did you see CJ go through here? I was looking for CJ.
No. Who are you?
Sorry, Graham Smith. Shit.
You new here?
No, ma'am.
What are you doing out of class?
Oh, I was just trying to find the washroom. I'm in Mr. Singh's class, but
You couldn't find the washroom?
I thought I saw CJ. Yeah, to go back to class.
So CJ's not in class.
She could be. I was gonna come and get her because I was.
Well,
with
when
the
you
washroom.
find CJ, can you tell her that you and CJ have detention after class?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. She walks away.
Graham's like trying not to look at the cable hanging out of the wall the whole time.
Yeah, and she walks away, and you go back to class.
Can I just break the cable off the wall even?
I'll allow you to pull the cable out a bit and then cut the cable and then let it fall through the rest of the way. So your headphones will still be in there.
Yeah. The rest of it might be stuck, but it's not obviously like a.
I like that. Yeah.
I
like that. Yeah. It gets the supernatural out of it.
Either that or just move a fire extinguisher or something.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, you cut the cable. There's a little clanking sound. Of your headphones through the thing.
Quietly breaks Graham's heart as he destroys his precious headphones.
Yeah, this is really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Someone steal Graham headphones. Just ask Lilith. Yeah. Sure, she has a room of headphones. Okay, so and then you just make your way back to class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I give Graham a condition, just voluntarily, of kind of untethered? Because I feel like his headphones are like his safety blanket. So
yes,
that's he's going to be a little off for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, devastating. But 2 fails. What are you gonna do? So back in class, Lilith. What is the aftermath of all of this? Everyone's gone.
I think Lilith's reaction to that fight is just over it. She's like, okay, this already happened. Why does this keep happening? But I think I would. I don't know. I think I would just try and play it cool, nothing's happening. But then I would send a text to my mom to be what's up with, what's Aiden's last name? Coleman, right?
Coleman.
I'll just be what's up with the Coleman kid? Because she probably knows something about it. I'm just going to be trying to find out as much as I can about Killer Kid, AKA my next boyfriend.
Your mom's not gonna like that. So yeah, you message your mom. I think as you go to message your mom, your brother gets back to you and is I think their family is doing something with mom, some kind of philanthropy thing with mom. They came into town a few months ago. I think they were finishing up school in their hometown before they came in for this first semester here. Yeah, they've been mom was saying something bad happened to them recently, but I don't have more info on that.
Is this Thor or is this Burke messaging me?
This would be Thor. Burke messages you back going I think the COO of Hallows Inc. has more important things to do than answer questions about some kid in your school.
Okay, to Burke and be shut up, you're just probably watching crypto videos, you idiot.
Is the wave of the future. We need to diversify and then he goes into a very long crypto chat about why it is so important.
I'll just temporarily block him. I don't want to hear
notifications.
Yeah, turn off silence notifications. Okay, well, to Thor, I'll be can you find out what bad thing happened?
Why don't you ask her?
I don't want to, and you already know more than me, so...
Yeah, but I told you what you know, therefore we know the same amount.
I'm just going to text back, you're useless.
And he just said, and then he just sends like a GIF of like an animated puppy that like throws its arms up and its heart breaks.
I'm gonna temporarily mute his notifications as well. I'm over all of these people. You don't even get one strike. You get a half. You like kind of piss me off. You're blocked.
I like they did it. Everyone on the Lilith's phone is just muted, and she only mutes them when she wants to talk to them.
Exactly. And then when I see all the messages, I just ignore it and ask for what I wanted in the first place.
Oh, that's devastating.
Okay, so then if my mom also knows, like I'll like do a second message, be like, P.S. What are you doing with the Quins? Like, and I'll do like a little like heart. Like I'm trying to make her think that I'm actually interested in what she's doing.
She sends a message back. She's like, it has been far too long since I had a lovely evening with my only daughter. You are cordially invited to dinner with your dear mother this afternoon, and I would love to catch up on all the goss.
In real life, she'll be rolling her eyes and like sighing, but then she'll just send like a champagne clink emoji.
Beautiful. Beautiful. The class continues. Slowly, you see River return, and they sit down at their table. And shortly after, I think, River comes back, Aiden comes back. Or Aiden, do you come back to class, actually?
Eventually. I think he stops at the bathroom first and, like, has a good long, like, hands on the sink, stare into the mirror. Thinks about punching the mirror, but doesn't want shards of glass in his knuckles.
Okay, so we'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
So you see Troy come back eventually, but you don't see CJ come back, and then shortly after, Graham comes back, but CJ and Aiden haven't come back yet. Aiden, can you give me a gaze into the abyss, please?
Yeah. Okay. 9.
9?
Confusing and alarming visions, but I get my answer. I guess
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
It's all good. So you're in the bathroom. You're like breathing heavily. Your hand is on the sink. The blood is slowly trickling down. You wash your hands, and you have like that pink water coming out as you're washing your hands. The lights like flicker subtly, and then you kind of like look up. And then as you look up, the bathroom mirror, it's very typical non-framed bathroom mirror, has a gilded frame around it, with like gold and black brushing all around it. And then you look back down from where your hands just were, and the sink is now this big wide oval sink with a nice drop down, golden faucets coming out. And you turn around in this bathroom and you see a small study desk with a big, long, lavish red leather chair, with a gentleman that you recognize from a dream sitting in the chair. Mr. Coleman.
Hi.
Have a seat. And as he says, have a seat, the ground comes up, and what looks like these writhing tendrils of like mossy vines come up, and then they solidify and turn into another red chair just like his.
That's it.
So you asked for help, yet I've already helped you, and I have yet to receive anything in return.
You haven't asked for anything.
Perhaps I should be more explicit. the person whose event you attended shortly after our meeting, that you've been drawn to, you've started communicating with, she started communicating with you?
Lilith?
Yes?
What about her?
I require you to get closer. I need certain vulnerabilities to be exposed. And I think we both know some ways you can help me expose those vulnerabilities.
Can I ask why, or?
Sure. What will you give me?
I don't even know what you want. I don't know what to offer.
I just told you what I want. You can give me some more hooks into the Hallows. I will give you an answer. Maybe.
Okay, well, she just broke up with her boyfriend, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that worth anything?
No. I'm afraid I require something a little bit more. And he stands up and he leans over to you and he gets really close. And then he leans into your ear and he says, supernatural. And then he like softly brushes your hands as he comes and sits down. And is like, maybe the next time you ask, I will provide assistance if I deem that you are moving in the right direction. As it stands right now, it's been weeks. You've made no advances. You've made no steps. And perhaps I should have been more explicit. Here I am now. Get me the Hallows. Or you will never see your friend again. And all of a sudden, a blinding light, like the lights that were flickering before, flicker really, really bright. And you're sitting like cross-legged on the floor of the washroom. Your hands are now healed. Heal your harm.
Oh.
And you're sitting just in the bathroom by yourself.
Stand up, kind of shaky. Just look in the mirror again. Notice that I've healed. And I guess just try to like mentally shake it off and go back to class and try to pretend everything is normal.
Cool. Yeah, you make your way back to class. Everyone has returned except for CJ. Mr. Singh just kind of like nods and then says, Lexi, we still have about 40 minutes left of class. Do you think you could run out and grab CJ wherever she is and possibly bring her back? And then Lexi's like, sure, Mr. S.
She said she was going to the washroom, I think.
And then Mr. S and Lexi both look at you for like a second, and then they just ignore what you said.
That's fair.
And the day continues. Is there anything else anybody wants to do with the rest of the day?
Does CJ end up back? Or do we never see CJ again?
Never again.
Well-
He disappears into the night.
Lexi goes.
She's living in Venezuela.
Lexi does go to get CJ, and if CJ wants to fight with that or what, like they'll just.
I'll remember
Tizon.
that Mother Jeanette was like, have a good be responsible, and I was like, fine. CJ doesn't know that she has detention yet though, so she's like, well, but no, she'll follow Lexi eventually. And then are we talking like the whole rest of the day or just for like whatever's left of the homeroom?
The whole rest of the day, like it'll go up that it's like wherever you guys want to talk, and then we'll go up to lunch.
Yeah, as soon as the bell rings for lunch, I want to be in front of Sammy's desk, like hand on her desk, being like, "Hey, things don't usually pop off that quickly, but I mean, happy first day," and just trying to like figure out what the deal is there.
Yeah. Yeah. Not. I've seen worse. It's hard.
You've seen worse
being
than
a
what
kid.
just happened? Damn.
Yeah.
Where'd you move here from?
Detroit.
Sick. Do you have lunch?
Like on me? Are you robbing me?
No, I'm not. I'm asking if you want to. I'm CJ. This is Lexi. We're on the rugby team. We're nice and friendly people. And if you don't have anyone to eat lunch with, you can eat lunch with us.
Are you trying
Yes.
any kind of moves right now? Yeah.
Duh. Yes. Yeah. I would like to try to roll to turn someone on. That is a 7.
A 7?
Just barely. Yeah, just barely make it.
They kind of flush a little bit and kind of smile as they're looking, and they were like, and then it like opens their hand to you to like help them up, kind of a thing, and then they stand up and they go with you to go have lunch.
CJ doesn't eat, but she'll entertain over lunch break.
Yeah. She sits around. Graham, what do you want to do over lunch?
I'm gonna try and grab Aiden as soon as I can. Maybe like as that same sort of similar as class finishes, just like swivel my chair and be like, "Hey, you okay?"
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do something about Troy, I think.
Is Troy up and gone yet, or is he still sitting like right there next to us? I'm assuming he's gone. But
full beelined it. Like
Yeah.
second the bell rang,
Cool.
he's just like he was like 10 minutes before he had his bag packed and everything, and then the bell rang, he threw it on and beat feet.
Yeah, I think I'll like turn to Fatima as well and just be like, "Hey, just give me 1 second," and kind of wait till everybody clears
Sure,
out.
yeah, but you're like super close with CJ now, right? So like, could you like introduce me to like CJ and Lexi and everything? Like,
I look up and see CJ like leaning over Sam's desk. I'm like, you might be a little late there, but sure, but just later.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
gotta
it's good.
talk to Aiden
Yeah. It's
for a
like, hey,
second.
new us, new year, new us. This is our new crew. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, Graham. It's gonna be great.
Up and coming, I guess.
And then Fatima goes up, and I think Fatima, as you're talking to Sammy, CJ, and as you lift Sammy up, Fatima just kind of like brushes you slightly, and then like makes eye contact with you, and just kind of like,
Fully ignores Sammy for a whole second. Fatima and be like, "Hey,
hey,
yeah." CJ's the worst.
Yeah, I think I might. Yeah, you. Because I guess Mr. Singh will hang around, right?
yeah, he's gonna eat at his desk.
Yeah, I'll just lean into Aiden, I think, and just be, "Hey, I snuck in before, and I kind of heard some of what the sheriff was saying, but he said some weird stuff after you left. Can we go talk somewhere?"
Yeah, okay.
I think there's got to be a band room somewhere that's like always
There's
just like
definitely a band
abandoned
room.
and
Yeah, and there is like there's one person in there probably, and they're just like organizing the instruments and like the books, and it's just like it's a student, and they just like don't want to go to lunch and be around people. But other than that, yeah.
Cool. yeah, I feel like I'll just not really pet him about. Yeah, like yeah. So the sheriff like thinks there's somebody else now. That they found another body.
Yeah, apparently.
Did they say who it was?
Oh, I think he said it was a he, but no, he wouldn't tell me anything.
Okay.
What do you mean you overheard? Where were you?
You know that weird like closet the principal's got in the back where she like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like, yeah, I snuck in there. But
Wow, you fast. Like,
yeah.
Quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't notice me a lot. It's anyway. But after you left, they said something. What did he say? The sheriff. Like, yeah, he seems like he's really got an interview, but him and the principal said they said like their friends were going to be interested in you.
What?
Or something like that. I don't know. It was really weird. It was full creepy. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like some PTA or something, but it felt really weird, and he was like giving you a hard time. So
Yeah, he was a
I don't know.
fucking asshole.
Yeah. That's fair. I just thought you should know, and like if you need some help, I don't know, dealing with it. Or...
I can't keep getting into fights. That's like they're using that as a.
Yeah, what happened? Troy was just I mean, I gotta say, it didn't go as well as the last one.
Ugh. Well, the last one got stopped before it got started, but this was.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't. I just wasn't fast enough this time. But
Yeah, next time.
maybe we should like hang out, and then I can just be there to like.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, okay. I guess. Sure.
Cool. Have you got lunch?
This
is what you ask if, you ask if I'm robbing you. Yeah.
No, but I have some money for my sister. If you want to go.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, I just got tuna fish, so
Okay.
I can split it if you want.
No, that's all right. I'll go buy something.
Okay, cool. And
So you both like leave the room, and I think you pass by the lunch hall. Just you're going, and Fatima like grabs you, and it's just like, "Where are you going? You have to introduce me.
oh, yeah,
We're gonna hang with CJ and Lexi. It was like a whole plan. We planned it."
sure. Yeah. Aiden, I mean, you know CJ, right? Should we go?
Yeah, sure.
Can we go say hi? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Can I do one thing really quick?
Absolutely. I was just gonna go over to you anyway.
I should have done this before. It's okay. But when I see Aiden and Graham leaving the room, I'm gonna like go over to Raina and be like, follow them.
Okay, cool.
And then so she's gonna like, I mean, I can't control what she does, but she knows that I mean like figure out what the fuck is happening and then report back.
Okay, cool. Cool. So I think as they're going to the lunchroom, what do you do in the lunchroom, Lilith?
I think, do I see Aiden in the lunchroom or is he walking by?
You will see, unless you're doing something beforehand, you'll get to the lunchroom before he does. Because Raina's following him.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah, I just said that. So once I see them like coming and like passing the room, I'll get up and I'll walk over to Aiden. I don't care who's around him. And I'll just like grab his arm and like pull him over to the side.
Are we like on our way to go see Lexi and CJ too?
So Fatima is pulling Graham towards Lexi and CJ. Aiden's walking behind, and Lilith grabs Aiden.
This is wild. This is so out of control.
This feels like high school.
So
Yeah, just like cannot get anything done without somebody just like, hey, this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab him, and when I think we're like kind of out of earshot, I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm sorry that keeps happening to you. And I'll be like rubbing his arm a little bit.
Are you attempting to turn someone on?
Am I turning him on or am I doing something else? Let me see. Hold on.
What are you doing?
Have you got strings on Aiden?
No,
'Cause you can
we
try
don't
and pull
have
a string.
anything on each other.
Oh, really?
No, I
Interesting.
don't have anything on him.
Not yet.
Dang.
Maybe
Not
yeah. I think I probably will. She probably will try and turn him on.
Okay.
Okay, let me roll. I got +2 on hot, baby. This is where I shine.
I'm
Oh
fucking
dear
smoking.
lord.
Oh shit!
I rolled a 3, so it's only a 5.
It's only a 5.
I shouldn't have said that. I cursed myself. I need new dice.
Are you using your special Monsterhearts dice?
No, I'm not, and I think that's probably the problem. I need to use the
definitely the
Monsterhearts dice.
Because Cal and I have been rolling so well.
Yeah, I
on
know.
I don't know
That's true.
what you did to your dice after getting them. Mine are fine.
I rolled like 3 times before we started, and they were all 10 plus. I was like, great, it's going to be a good day. And then, like, nope.
You
You used up all the
yeah,
luck.
that was it. That was it. Mojo is gone.
I didn't use them for the session 0, and I was rolling too well on my normal dice, so I switched them out, and clearly it's the other end of the spectrum.
Dice love the drama.
Just take one of the Monsterhearts dice,
Yeah.
one of the okay, so I think on a fail turn someone on, that's a me thing. So no, there's no on a fail on here that I see. So I think you like visibly kind of attempt, but you're still in that mixed stage. I don't know if Lilith is actually attracted to Aiden, and like that might be coming off, and it's just kind of like this manipulation thing that's kind of happening. So you kind of come off. Aiden is just kind of like taken aback as you pull him off, and it's like clear what you're trying to communicate, but it's just not landing. And I think as it's not landing, your head is still kind of keeps like inappropriately being taken back to CJ in the hallway this morning. So it's like as you like pull him over and you go to brush his arm, you like falter a little bit because you just like imagine brushing up CJ's arm, and you're just like, oh. So you're like, you say that, but you kind of like falter as you say it.
Okay. I don't even know what. I think Lilith would still like. She would know that happened, but she'd try to be confident about it. But it's obviously awkward.
Yeah, Aiden just kind of like looks at the arm, or the hand, looks back at you. Like, I'd say confused, but knowing, well, after that conversation he just had with the strange man, I think we'll pretend to be turned on by it, even though it wasn't effective.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a move or something, or
I don't think that's a move.
yeah, okay.
I think you just do it.
Yeah.
And Lilith failed. So it's Lilith is vulnerable.
Yeah, okay. Hey. Pulls out the purple gel pen note. Is this from you?
Of course, it's from me.
Just wanted to make sure it wasn't Georgia, you know.
I couldn't make it obvious. I was trying to avoid the whole situation that happened, so that's why I'm saying sorry.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Not a mark on me.
I can see that. What are you doing for lunch? Have you got lunch?
Give me your lunch.
That's the title of this episode.
Oh my god, it definitely is. I'm writing it down. Give me your lunch. Got lunch or give me your lunch?
Give me your lunch.
Give me your lunch.
Sorry, just to remind me, because I have forgotten now. Graham asked to hang out during lunch or like later. I can't remember.
During lunch. I
Okay.
think.
Yeah. Graham's friend flirting. I was going to say, I can totally pull a string too to tempt you to do that if that's helpful.
If that's helpful.
Graham, the most helpful manipulator. Do you want me to manipulate you right now? I will.
I'll get consent first. Yeah.
All right. I think I just said I'd have lunch with Graham, but I mean, I don't. You can join us. It's not really your.
Who?
Graham Smith.
Smith.
That was that was in character.
Is he new too?
No, he's been going here. We used to be in
Oh.
band together years ago.
Oh, so you like music then?
Sure. It's good. Yep. I haven't played in a while.
Okay. What do you play?
Trumpet in class, but like I play some guitar.
Oh, cool. I play guitar too. I mean, if you're busy for lunch, you could come over and, I could show you my guitars. Like my dad has them too, and so do my brothers.
At your house. Okay.
If you want. And then I think Lilith's just gonna like feel a little bit awkward, so she's gonna just cut it off and she'll be like, "You have my number," and then just like try and touch his hand again. But like, I'm not gonna try this time to turn him off because I've like fumbled already, and I'll just walk away.
Cool. While this is happening, Graham, you are leading / being led towards CJ.
Yeah.
And Fatima is just kind of like, beside you, but kind of like shouldering you into CJ to be like, do it, come on, like,
Be cool. Be cool. It's
fucking do it. All right.
yeah. Hey, CJ.
Oh, hey! What's up? Hold on. I will finish telling the story in 1 second. It was crazy, though. You should have seen it. I jumped from the second story into the pool. So sad that I'm like telling Sammy the like story of the party, and I'm like, hold on. I'll be right back. Hey, what's up?
Hey. Hi. I'm Graham. Nice to Sammy, right? Nice to It was.
Oh, hi. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Graham. Nice to meet you. And this is
Fatima. Fatima.
hi.
Sammy, and CJ, right?
Hi. I don't think we've ever spoken.
Hi, CJ.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever spoken before.
Well, we did like last year. You asked for a pencil because you were trying to like draw something and your pencil broke. So I gave you my pencil.
I am an artist, and thank you so much for allowing me to continue my craft.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I remember that drawing of the dick very clearly. It was made better by your fancy pencils.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, well, I'm I don't think Graham said I'm Fatima. Yeah,
He did.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but
That's
yeah,
okay.
I was just like, saying hi and hanging out. Graham was like, "Hey, my new friend CJ is like really cool. Let's go hang out with CJ." So I was like, "Yeah, like,
Graham,
like let's do it." Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to Graham and be like, "Do you think I'm cool, Graham?"
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course,
obviously.
of course, he thinks you're cool. Of course, he does.
Do you guys want to have lunch with us? We're just kind of like hanging out. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Fatima, did you come to the party? Did you come to Lilith's party before the schools?
No, I was away with my family, and then I was at band camp. So I was gone most of the summer.
Band camp.
Yeah.
It was
happens
transformative.
What happens at band? Okay, wait. Talk about band camp later. You need to start the story from the beginning. Okay, so
Okay,
the theme
okay.
of the party is, and then just like launches into like a retelling of how that.
You want to give like because the viewers have not a word
Well, what
present for
happened?
that. Do you want to give a brief description of the party?
So CJ's like, so the theme was like Casino Royale. So everybody dressed up, everyone looked really good. I also looked incredibly sharp, dressed as a dealer with like a vest and like the little tie, but I don't know how to tie a tie, so it's like open. Anyways, great party, music bumping, everything. Everyone was having a great time. Asher was there. That part sucked a bit, but the rest of it was really fun, and there was really good music. And then the party got kind of boring.
Isn't that the kid in the front of the class, Asher?
Yeah, he's my brother.
Your brother?
Yeah.
This is cool.
No, he's not.
Okay.
And then at the party, then Aiden came. I don't know if you've met. Aiden was the guy who got into a fight with Troy earlier today. I mean, Troy punched. It wasn't really a
As
fight.
this is happening, Aiden
Yeah.
makes his way into the conversation.
Yeah. So that a like
Speak of the
precursor
devil.
to the hey. So like a precursor to that, like kind of happened at the party where like it looked like they were gonna fight, and everyone was like in the street being like, "Oh fuck yeah!" And then they didn't fight. It got like diffused before any of like the fun stuff happened. And so we're all walking around with like we're like blue balls for like this like fight that was supposed to happen, then it didn't happen. And, like nothing fun was happening at this party anymore. But there's a really cool pool in the back of Lilith's house that like looks out over the rest of the mountain. So I was like, ooh, someone should jump into the pool. But like the architect who built Lilith's house didn't build a fucking diving platform into it because they're idiots. So I jumped from the roof, which was the only other part where you could do that, and it was a great success, and everyone had a good time, and nothing
like,
bad
yeah,
happened.
you almost fucking killed yourself.
No, I didn't.
Jesus.
I was fine. I passed out for a couple of minutes, and then I woke
My
up, and then
heart
it was
went
fine.
straight to my throat.
It
like,
takes
I've
so
never
much
heard a
more
more
than
sickening
that to
crack.
kill me.
Oh, God.
It takes so much more than that to kill me.
It's gonna catch up with you one day, Siege. You gotta
guarantee
tone it
you
down like
it
5%. Like 5%.
I cannot begin to tell you how much this will never ever catch up with me. Live fast, die young, or possibly never. But yes, so Lilith hosts a bunch of parties, and everyone else should come. Graham's been, and it was a great time, right, Graham?
I wore a suit.
Yeah, and you looked sharp.
Thanks.
Fatima's like, oh yeah, absolutely. I would love to go to a party with you. That would be great. When's the next one? Is it like like around the Memorial Festival or something like that? Like is it happening? Is it tonight? Is it like
No, like there probably won't be one for like another couple of months. They need time to like find caterers and bartenders and other rich people stuff that I don't know.
Fatima actually just kind of goes blank for a second. She's like, okay, I misunderstood party. And she's just like, this is the most like not. She was just like, oh shit, okay.
There's like staff.
It's a full like serious party.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've never been to a rich people thing.
It's kind of bonkers.
That
It was really fun.
Really, yeah. Okay. Wow. That actually sounds like an event. Wow. Okay.
You can all
Yeah.
come
But
with me.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be fantastic. Yeah. Like our own orgy of fun kind of a thing.
You gotta start telling me about band camp. I'm
It
very
was transformative.
what happened. Yeah.
Lilith, you see, I think, from across the room, you watch Aiden go and join CJ and everything, and then you see CJ just being like the center of attention, telling this story, everybody laughing, the new girl laughing, Fatima just like not being able to control herself at all, and everybody just kind of like being enraptured, and you're sitting at a table. Troy's kind of glaring at you from across the lunchroom, and you have your clique around you. Raina does come back at a certain point and is like, I didn't catch it all, but they were talking about apparently Graham like spied on the sheriff or something like that, and apparently they're like being super wiggy and aggressive to Aiden.
What do you mean you didn't catch it all? Like, Why did I ask you to
Well, they were in the
spy on
band
that
room.
man?
They were in the band room, and it's like there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's like they have those noise canceling things on the wall, so I had to like get on the ground and listen through the door slit, and it was like a thing.
I don't know if this counts. Or like, wait, I'm a little confused on how to trigger my darkest self, but like it triggers when like someone messes up and I'm really upset with them.
Yeah. So if you're like truly upset, like really really upset with her right now, that would be a triggering of
okay.
the darkest self, sure.
I don't
but
think, okay, never mind. I don't think I'm that.
I think based off that, it would be like the intensity to which you're like, you failed me, right?
Okay. Okay. No, this is just a regular Lilith, like, disappointment. Okay. Then I'm going to say, I'm just going to be like, fine, I guess I have to do everything myself. Because she's already pissed off that she saw CJ, like, in the middle of everything. So she's just going to get so pissed off. And she's just going to, like, brush off Raina. And she's probably just going to go to her Ferrari and isolate herself at lunch.
Is there like any kind of thing you're listening to in your Ferrari or anything like that? All of my emo songs are 10 years out of date at this point, but
I was gonna say like I don't know, Death Cab or something.
sure. Creep.
I don't know. Yeah, creep. Yeah. Just something, and just like boiling with like anger and just wanting to like go home and like ask my mom about everything, so I have more information than everyone else.
Cool. So Lilith leaves. Sorry, CJ, yes?
Yeah, I was just gonna, once people are still talking and everything, I just want to go over to Aiden and actually give him the drugs that I was going to give him before the sheriff talked to him.
Sure.
And we'll do that handoff.
Cool. As you do that handoff, CJ, you get a text, and it is a response from Andrea, and it is a heart eyes smiley face.
I'm crushing it right now. CJ's on the top of her game. She's on the top of the world. Great. She's not gonna respond, but I do want to look. No, Lilith has gone, right?
Yes, Lilith. Like
Yeah.
Andrea wouldn't have sent it unless Lilith had left.
Okay, I think she'll like look around to see if Lilith is around, because she would rub this in Lilith's face if she was there. But she's not there, so she won't respond.
Yeah, at most you would see like Lilith's back as she's like walking out of the building.
When you do the handoff, are we going like somewhere slightly private, or is it just like a subtle like? While
I think
everybody's...
I think while everyone's talking, I'll like slide it across to you, like with like a pack of like Welch's fruit snacks or something.
Yeah, okay.
Or like something from like the vending machine.
Okay. Then I'll lean
As
in.
that kind of Sammy, I think, kind of watches the handoff, like the blatant handoff. It's just like, so I'm with like the bad kids, right? Like this is what's happening.
No.
No.
Graham's a great kid.
Graham does seem stand out. Hello, Graham.
And I would have been convinced that Fatima was also a good kid, but this Bandcamp stuff has me questioning everything that I thought I knew about that. So,
Also, I should probably nip this in the bud, but you're gonna hear some shit about me. My friend disappeared over the summer, and people think I was involved in hurting them or something. Anyway, there's like rumors going around, but it's bullshit, and don't listen to it.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you for being upfront about that. Very, very cool of you. Yeah, there's, weird stuff. Like, I haven't been here long, but weird stuff in this town sometimes. You have people go missing often?
Do we?
No, that doesn't really.
no.
It's pretty safe, right, CJ?
Super safe here.
Yeah.
Convincing.
I'm just gonna go ahead and mark traumatized. that was already with like Aiden opening up on the cast.
Yep. Okay, so you say that Aiden, Graham. What were you gonna do? Also, what happens with your traumatized condition, Graham, when it's activated?
Whenever someone brings up your death and you choke up, gain the condition traumatized. If you don't have it already, whenever someone helps me resolve the condition, we both mark experience. So nothing in particular.
Okay, you're just like not okay.
I'm traumatized.
You're not okay. Cool.
I think you will see Graham go from like kind of a little bit in disbelief that he's sitting with this group of like cool people all having lunch together to immediately being reminded of like, oh, this was all immediately preceded by a very strange and shitty time that still has a lot of questions.
So I think as that kind of happens and they're talking about like, oh, people don't disappear, you immediately flash back to the vision of your body lying there surrounded by toadstools, and you and CJ covering it up as the search party is calling out. And I don't think anybody would notice, but just as like a side thing, your clothes drop a shade in color as you're kind of there thinking about that and kind of lost, and you just become more pallid.
Can I... It's not really a move for this. I think Graham reaches for where his headphones would be, and they're not there, and it's just like, I just need to get some air. I gotta go for a second. And stands up to leave the table I think he's gonna head back towards the music department where he knows there's some headphones.
Cool. Yeah, immediately. Aiden, what's kind of your response to... You were supposed to go talk to Graham, and Graham's like, I need to go.
Hey, you okay? Do you want company?
Yeah. I think Graham is looking back between Aiden and CJ because he really wants to know, at least. He's just like, that's my body. They found my body.
Yeah, I think, like, I was going to say CJ would also want to go because, like, she and Graham are, like, friends now. So she'll want to follow, to go with him and be like, hey, I'll be right back. And then...
Yeah, and as you go, and Fatima kind of like looks and like sees Graham and is like, Graham, are you okay? And then I think as Lexi's kind of putting it all together, Lexi's like, so what did happen at band camp? And then as you're walking...
solid.
I love Lexi.
Lexi just always has the right play to just like, hey, you need a little attention right now.
Lexi's the handler of this group of people for sure.
Sorry, did
Hey,
we
make your way
both go? Or just CJ?
Yeah, CJ and Aiden go.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we should talk. We should talk. I think on the way there, Graham already starts like kind of muttering to the both of them. It's like, okay, Aiden, this is going to sound super weird, but CJ, wait, CJ, hang on. CJ, the sheriff said they found another body. They think Aiden did it, but we know Aiden didn't because you found... But I think... This is really weird. Aiden, I think my body is in the woods. It was in the woods.
What do you mean?
If we can get to the band room and walk into the music room, and I'll just like...
That is now officially like the cone of silence.
Yeah.
It has soundproofing. We're fucking going to the band room.
Yeah. And I'll just like stick my hand through the wall.
If there's still someone, if there's that person who's like still there is like trying to like avoid people, I will walk right over to them and be like, get out. Just like super aggressively.
100%. They're like, okay.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah.
Don't apologize.
I love, like, we are such fucking nerds. We took like this like cool kid thing and we're like, where's it gonna be our hangout? The
Band
band.
room.
Man, we need to get
That's
a
where
car.
I hung out in high school.
Car.
We need a friend with a car.
Lilith has 4 cars.
Yeah.
One for each of
Four-
them.
Each have a
people in
car.
Ferrari. Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so yeah, you go and then you just put your hand through the wall in front of Aiden.
Yeah, I don't know, but something's wrong.
What the fuck?
A valid response. I had the same response, but it's okay. So I can confirm what you are seeing right now is a real thing. It's not a magic trick. It's not a joke.
So you can just like walk through walls and that's how you got into the fucking closet. Are you real?
I mean, I feel pretty real.
I'm gonna reach out and
Like,
touch him. Is he tangible?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's
so.
tangible.
Okay.
Yep.
It's kind of like, I mean, I've mostly been able to just do it when I want, but I lost my headphones before shit in the principal's cupboard. Yeah, that's probably bad. I think they like caught me though, but I think I covered okay.
Is your name on them?
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, she didn't see you leaving the cupboard, right?
No, I did the
Yeah, you're fine.
I did the ghost thing.
What the?
Yeah.
You
I don't
still
know
haven't told
what's
CJ if she has detention, by the way.
But like they said that they found another body. We couldn't. Did the sheriff did the sheriff seem like shocked or confused or like or anything? Because we weren't able to do anything to Graham and I weren't able to move his body.
Hey, for all I know, the sheriff was fucking with me. I don't even know if he was telling the truth.
Huh.
Should we go?
Maybe.
I didn't get a name. I didn't get any kind of descriptor. I think he was just trying to get me to crack or something.
Should we go back and see if it's still there? I mean, I don't mind doing that. I don't think you should go back there. I don't even think either of you should go back there, really. All things considered.
Do either of you have? Can I borrow your headphones for a second? And your earbuds?
Yeah.
I want to try something.
I want to grab a pair from like the bank of them, I guess. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
There'd be these like headphones on the wall.
The ones that you plug into the keyboards all the time. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Can I put on my headphones, cue up like Graham's latest favorite album, and I want to try and gaze into the abyss to try and see if my body is still where I last saw it.
Do it up.
Okay. This day's gone pretty well so far.
Ooh, wait. Never mind. Never mind. Sorry.
All right.
Yes.
That is a 10 though.
Oh yeah, nice.
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 So
you sit, you listen to the music. It's like pumping through. You close your eyes. You feel as you breathe in, you're breathing in the scent of cedar and moss and moisture. You kind of feel dirt under your hands. And you feel part of your body again very briefly. Like you're in your body all of a sudden as you're listening, and then as the track is playing, it's this like melancholy orchestral not orchestral acoustic guitar kind of playing, and it's like this serenade, and then in the back of the serenade you hear this person singing, "There's power in the lost," and you open your eyes and you're confident that your body is where it was still.
I think when I hear that voice, I'm like, I sort of get that information, but when I hear the voice, I'm like kind of throw the headphones off and be like, I think we're good. I think I kind of felt, I think I felt my body again. That's a weird thing to say. Yeah.
So they found something else out there?
I can't, like...
Another body?
Well, this is the... So, CJ, they said something about, like, telling their friends that would be interested in Aiden about the principal and the sheriff. I don't... It was really weird. This is... I thought it was just going to be, like, fun to fly around and go through walls, but this is getting really weird really quickly.
What happened to you?
Me?
I mean...
with that voice, the power and the lost thing still echoing, so I went to this lame camp thing, and I don't know, like, it's dumb, so I just took off and I went to the woods, and I think I stayed out too long or something, and yeah, I got lost, and didn't wake up until there was this guy, this person. They were like a camper, but then they were not a camper, and they started saying weird shit, and then I woke up and CJ was there. They were really strange. Yeah, I don't know.
When did you wake up?
I don't know. It was when all the people were out looking for Kira, because that's why we kind of hid me, because we didn't want it. I don't know. It just felt weird to. I mean, it's so weird, but yeah, it was so right around then. I think I'd been out there for. Had I figure out I'd been gone a few days when I got back?
Yeah. You were gone for a bit. Yeah. It was like the night you were gone. Part of the reason why people weren't looking for you is because calls went out to start looking for Kira, and you just were forgotten. Your sister was doing other things, and everybody forgot. Figured you were caught up with everybody else that was doing stuff, and you showed up at the end. I think so. You were like gone for like probably about 5 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll like kind of figure out. Be like, yeah, it was like this week of summer and tell later.
Do you remember which date? Like what was the date?
Well, it was the Thursday
Sure.
that I wandered out, and I remember it getting dark and just being really tired and cold, and then some weird shit. You okay? I mean, this is fucking strange, but
Yeah, just weird timing.
you mean with Kira
Yeah.
stuff? Are you okay that we just talk about it?
I mean, I don't even know that she's... They never found a body. I don't know what
Sure.
happened to them.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's the fact that they never found a body. Just the fact that they never found a body is like weird, right? I mean, it's not it's like less weird than maybe it could be.
I mean, I think Graham is like considering trying to do his headphones thing again. It's like, no, I don't want to hear the voice
wanna do
again
that.
right now. But we'll maybe bank that for later. I don't know. What should we do something?
I think we need to find out what body they found. If they did find something and weren't just messing with me. Who would know?
I mean, Weird or not?
Who's
The lunch
phoning?
bell just rang.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do appropriate. But yeah, the lunch bell rings and people are called back to class.
CJ's gonna look up at the clock and then look back at both of them and be like, we obviously are not going back to class, right? We have other
What?
stuff to do.
I mean, whoa.
Oh my god, Graham.
It's just... Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's the
you're
first day
right.
of class. Nothing's gonna happen. They're gonna tell us what we're gonna learn for the rest of the year, and that's kind of it for every other period we have.
But if we don't have the assignments, then we don't know how to... Anyway.
Graham! Can I pull on a string to try and convince Graham to come with us?
Yes, absolutely. If that's
Graham
the
will
thing, I
come
love
with
that.
you. It's okay.
Yeah. I don't have to roll anything for that. I can just
Yeah, you spend the strings, right?
yeah.
To tempt someone, yeah, you
Yeah, to
offer, you spend the string and you offer an experience point. So if
Yeah.
they go along with what you do, they get an experience, which feels like an unnecessary reward for just furthering the plot. But, I'm gonna...
But I also like the narrative part of it. Like CJ's like, "Be cool, man."
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
We gotta go make
Yeah.
sure that it's not that they haven't messed with your body. Or if they have, I want to know why they could mess with your body, but we couldn't.
Are we going to go into the
Right.
woods right now?
Yeah.
What? Look,
I don't know if I should go back there. They're probably watching for it.
what about...
It's been like a month. You think they're still waiting for you to mess up or something?
You didn't hear that conversation they had with me earlier.
He was crazy.
Really?
He was he was like a bully.
The sheriff sucks.
Sheriff's meant to be a good guy, right?
It's okay. I put sugar in his gas tank. It's fine. The car's gonna blow up when he tries to drive away.
Oh, has that happened yet?
I don't think that's what sugar does.
Cut to Lilith eating lunch, listening to Death Cab.
Amazing, yeah.
You need a little bit more than a couple of sugar packets to
also
really
doesn't-
fuck an engine.
It's
I
not going
looked
to blow
it
up
up.
the car.
I
Yeah,
looked it up
But
over
it-
lunch. It doesn't do anything. It just gets
No.
hot in the filter.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'll fuck up your engine,
It's-
but I don't
yeah.
think
It'll fuck up your engine is the thing. So in a couple
But that's
months,
if you pour a kg
he's gonna
of
be
sugar
really
in
upset.
there. Yeah.
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 Hey,
CJ doesn't know that. CJ's convinced that his car is gonna blow up.
you guys both know Lilith, right? And isn't her family
Yes.
super connected? Could
Yes.
she?
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Well, are you folks planning on going? Have you decided to go?
I'm trying to convince these guys. Come on, it can't be. There's no way that they've still set up a watch. I know that this guy's a bully, but it's been a month. What do they expect? You're gonna walk back in after a month to go? Defile her corpse? Come on, no way.
CJ?
It's what you just said that he was a bully. What I don't know what happened in that conversation.
That's not the part I was.
That's not the
teasing you
part
about.
anybody stopped at.
Fine. But that's
I'm just,
you know what
I'm just saying, if we can find out what the deal is with the sheriff, who would know, then we don't have to go to the woods.
Yeah, I can talk to Lilith.
CJ's gonna what? What do you mean by that?
I can find out if she can find out if anyone knows anything.
Yeah, okay. I also am friends with. I also talk to Lilith. We can both try.
Okay.
Graham's just the energy just shifted in a weird way.
Yeah, sure. If you want.
Yeah, two heads are better than one. We'll both. Yeah, one of us will get the information from Lilith.
Should I talk to Lilith?
Yes.
No. No, you shouldn't.
Okay, yeah, no. She kind of
What?
terrifies me.
Why are you? Yeah, just fully turns to Aiden. Why are you talking to? Yeah. What? Why are you talking to Lilith?
I am not yet. It was just...
Do you plan to?
Yes, we need information. I don't...
Oh,
What's
yeah,
the
okay,
big deal
fine.
here?
Nothing. It's fine. Nothing. Just... Yeah, talk to Lilith to get information about this, one thing, and then...
I don't know.
Yeah.
So who's calling Lilith?
Oh, are we
Not
calling her
Graham.
right now?
What's going on? Well, we cut to Lilith in a car heavy metal, angry rage rock going on, just like eating her sandwich or whatever she's eating, her sushi.
Sandwich. Yeah, sushi.
How dare.
So yeah, what's the plan? Are you going to talk to her now? Are you going to wait till the end of the day? Are you going to go check on the body?
CJ will go check on the body. I think CJ's going to skip class for the rest of the day to go into the woods. And like, she'll send a quick, she actually won't tell anyone else. I think these two will be the only ones who know. Yeah.
Are you still
I think Aiden...
cajoling?
Yeah, is Graham going to go?
Graham will go if CJ pulls the string.
Pulls the string, yeah.
For sure.
I don't know... I mean, if you pull a string on Aiden, it should convince him to go, but otherwise he doesn't...
I don't have any
it's a good
on
idea.
him, so I won't be... I'll convince Graham to go because I think that it's kind of... It's a non-issue if you show up, kind of. It might be more of an issue if Aiden shows up, but...
Yeah. Makes sense.
So Lilith,
Guess you're skipping
you're in your
your,
car. Sorry.
I was going to say you're skipping your detention as well. But you don't know about
I
that.
don't even know
They
that I have
don't even know
detention.
CJ's just
forgot about that
loosey-goosey.
It's more fun if she never finds out.
It'll come up
maybe we
tomorrow.
can get
It'll
back
be
in
like,
time
you didn't
for
show up to
detention."
detention yesterday. I had detention yesterday?
I like the idea that Graham's going to skip class and come back for detention.
Probably.
Oh, that would be solid. So Lilith, you're sitting in your car, eating your bento box, and you see cutting across the parking lot, CJ and Graham, beelining it for. And CJ, what's your preferred mode of transportation? It's like a skateboard or something, right?
Yeah, she's probably got like a beat up,
longboard?
I think a longboard or like a penny board. One of the two. Probably a penny board. And that's what she'll use to get around because she doesn't have a car.
Right. It's gonna be a hike to get up
Is
to.
AJ's car? Did AJ bike or no? He biked.
AJ has a motorcycle.
Do I know how to
you could-
ride the motorcycle?
I would think so.
I'm gonna take his motorcycle.
Okay. So Lilith, you
like, "Come on."
see, yeah, you
Graham.
see CJ jump on a motorcycle, and Graham jump on the back, and they go to like take off, or they go to like start the engine and take off. But do you interact?
I don't think I interact with them, but I then text Raina and I'll be like, want to make it up to me? Go follow them. And then I'll tell her like, oh, they're in this parking lot. They're heading this way on a motorcycle.
Okay, cool. Yeah. A few minutes later, you see Raina like beelining it out, jump into her like Escalade and turn the car on and jet off. These freaking kids with their cars. CW land. And she begins to tail. Okay, is there, before we go into the woods, Lilith and Aiden, is there anything you want to do as you go back to class?
After they've left at the end of lunch, or as I'm walking back to class, I'm going to text Lilith. Say, so, ... Just send that. 7 o'clock? Send that. I also did not say who was sending it.
Well, I feel like Lilith knows. Oh shit, I have dinner with my mom.
You do have dinner with your mom.
I'm just gonna say yes, and we'll figure it out. And like, we'll figure out my mom later. And then I'll just like say, you know where I live.
All right, Cool. So we flash over to the motorbike, just jumping up as it's going up the hill, down all of these off-beaten paths. CJ is pretty darn good on a motorbike. I think she's not really having an issue at all.
Definitely not safe about it though. Like there's definitely there's definitely moments where you're like, I wish this motorcycle had an oh shit handle, you know? Like
Absolutely. And I think there are moments where CJ like really cuts something close and you could swear that like their knee got like nicked by something, and you're kind of like in your head are like, oh, and then you look back and it's fine and you're like, oh. And it's just kind of going through and it's bouncing along. So are you going, where are you going? You're going to where Graham's body was?
Can we get the motorcycle that close, or will we have to drop off the motorcycle at like the lookout?
You can get the motorcycle that close because they like right by where Graham was found, where you found Graham, the like base station was where the hunt was. So they could get like full cars and stuff there.
Oh, no.
Graham was like lost like 10 meters from like the ranger station.
Yeah, not like 10 meters, but like under a kilometer from like where that base camp was made.
Yeah, he's definitely in a
for the hunt. Yeah.
I think that,
but it was a made base camp for the search. It was like usually just a field that is open enough and has paths that people got there, and they made a search camp. So it's not like an established place. It was like tents went up there.
I think we're trying to figure out if they have found another body, and if so, like presumably there was some kind of to do about that, and so I guess maybe scoping that out would be, that'd be my instinct. But
I think like similarly, I think that this isn't CJ's first rodeo being like, fuck, there might be a body nearby that needs to be dealt with. So she's kind of like, okay, how like get into like the perimeter, ditch the bike, we'll do the rest on foot, see if we can see something.
Cool. You do that. I think based off of that, do you want to check Graham's body just because you're close by?
Yes, I want to. I don't know if Graham.
I feel pretty confident that it's still there, but I'll go along with CJ for sure.
Yep, it's like it's right there. You go, you pull off the debris and leaves and everything off of Graham. Still wearing the clothes that you were wearing when you went missing. It's an interesting situation because you're looking, and it hasn't been that many months, but you're looking at yourself on the ground, and it looks as if there hasn't been any changes. And that's on like a big degree. So it's like, it is odd that you don't seem to be changed from within this circle of toadstools. You don't seem to be changed at all within it. And you had like stuff, there's been like rains and all kinds of things have happened since. There's no sign of decay. There's nothing. You're just as if sleeping, lying there. But there's no pulse. There's no anything. You're just there.
CJ's gonna like turn to Graham and be like, is this weird for you? Should you have stayed with the bike?
He's already traumatized.
Yeah.
It can't get much worse.
In the scope of today, this is, I mean, I want to make a habit out of it, but...
CJ's gonna like look at him for a second and then step forward and try to move the body again.
It's the same behavior as before. It's like you can't really move it outside the toadstool. You can touch it and kind of like wrap around it, and you can try to lift it, but there's really no action around moving it. It stays in that circle.
Okay. Personally, I think if the sheriff had found this and this was the body that they were referring to, there'd be like evidence markers or something, or like more people would be confused about the fact that you can't move your body, like out of this ring of toadstools. So someone
we're good.
else is dead?
Unless, like Aiden said, and they're just bullshitting them, trying to like get a response.
Is there? Can you move? You can move through like trees and walls and stuff.
I think so.
Can do we should look, maybe see if there's another body, like just to confirm, because like if there's going to be another body, they might like try to pin it on Aiden, and that sounds bad.
Yeah, I mean, if they found another body, wouldn't there be more like cops out here right now?
Oh yeah. Is there anyone, like, was there anyone like?
Not where you are right now.
I guess it's a big forest.
If you continue and you kind of keep looking, eventually you will hear the sounds of some police and some kind of investigation. Continuing on, you're like hiking through. Graham, you're like remarkably not really encumbered as you're walking through, and sometimes your feet just kind of like skim through rocks, and it's like your transparency is just like always assisting you as you're walking through the forest. CJ is like, does tumble every so often, is like kind of like at a constant jog the whole time, just kind of booking it whenever possible. And then you start hearing some things. You start hearing a car going kind of far away. You can see some like crime tape, and you look down into a ravine, and it seems like all the police have left now. For now, and it sounds like that's what you heard kind of driving off. They like left the scene for now. You look down into the ravine and you see a pit that looks like an exhumed corpse, and you see like some clothes and things like that have been laid out in like evidence bags. So you assume the cops will be coming back like fairly soon or something. And as you see it, CJ, you recognize some of the clothing, and as you recognize some of the clothing, the taste of blood and intestine coats the inside of your mouth, and the memory of this man and your fateful interaction as you fell into your darkest self months ago, and this poor person that happened upon you in that time. That's the end of the episode for today.
Fuck. Oh no. It was my fault.
Oh no.
It was my fault. Oh no.
All right. Tune in next week, fam. And thanks so much for doing this with us.